It finally happened. I purchased my first investment property with funds that came from selling trading cards, YouTube, Amazon affiliate links, all sorts of things. It was my major goal when starting this channel about, was it a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, something like that. It started with me opening a box of the Battle Academy for Pokemon, and here we are. I rolled that money into something that grows in equity, and it is a great accomplishment. But before we get into it, you're probably wondering how that happened, because I only have less than 2,000 subscribers. It's not a lot of YouTube money. Also, the cards in the back, you don't see pallets and pallets of things. So how did I do it? Well, I did it partially because of all the support that you have given me. And also, the title's going to be a little clickbaity. So what I mean by that is I did not buy it outright in cash. I didn't buy a very expensive house. And then also, it wasn't just the money I got from TCGPlayer. It was a good portion of it that went towards a down payment. But I wanted to make this video because if I was somebody who wanted to buy their first house and needed some extra money, you're working a 9 to 5 and you decided, hey, I need that down payment. Well, on a government-backed loan, an FHA loan, you only need 3.5%. And with what I've sold last year, I definitely accomplished that. As long as you're not living in New York City or Los Angeles, Seattle, San Francisco, those major cities. Because there are a lot of nice houses in the United States around the 150,000 mark. You could even get something for 80. Yeah, it might not be in a big major city, but it's still a house. And I know a lot of people are trying to save up. The economy is pretty rough right now, and not everyone lives in those states. There's plenty of people in this business you can do from anywhere. Middle of nowhere is fine too. Most of my cards I bought came from online, and Amazon ships pretty much anywhere. So we're going to be talking about a couple things. We're going to be talking about my tactics, what I did to get here with zero money down for this business. We're going to talk a little bit about what I bought, what kind of house, but we're not going to get into too much detail. And then struggles and some advice. Also, will I continue selling? I know a lot of people have noticed I've been making more videos, and they're not card related. They are miniature wargaming, because I do like doing that also. But we'll get into that in a second. Let's talk about my tactic. So like I said, zero money down. I wanted to keep my 9 to 5 money and my trading card and YouTube money totally separate. I also wanted to see if I could leverage, credit. So in past videos, I have talked about this, but I opened 2 credit cards, 2 Capital One. The reason I went with Capital One is because they're very easy to get. Almost anyone can get a Capital One credit card. There will be some links in the description, and if you sign up for the card and get approved, they just hand me $150. And it's greatly appreciated. If anyone wants a new credit card, just check out below. Anyways, so why 2? Why not 1? Well, 2, because I wanted to keep everything separate again. So not only my 9 to 5, it's, my other accounts, this one is also 2 cards for, one's just for cards, just for inventory and what I sell. And the second card is for the operational expenses. So stamps, envelopes, cameras for YouTube, microphones, things like that. Anything that's not card related goes on the other card. Trust me, it's easier to keep track of. And in addition, if you're going to buy a house, you need good credit. So this helps you build credit. Keep asking for those credit limit increases. Your debt to income ratio is going to get better. Your credit, the track record you have with credit is going to get better. So by the time you go and buy your house, whether that's investment or for yourself, it's going to look very good. So what did I buy? I bought nothing but sealed product. That was my tactic. I know a lot of people go and buy collections from people locally or online. I tried that in the beginning, and it didn't work out well because a lot of the cards were damaged. The hollows were scratched. There was a little kid that was opening them before, and they just put like peanut butter and jelly all over the cards. It was just sticky. It was a mess. I ended up giving a lot of those away because I couldn't sell them. But at the same time, I can't just buy every new booster box, because once you start doing that, you're gambling. And I don't want to gamble. I wanted to shift the odds in my favor. So what I did was I did a lot of research on TCGPlayer of different card games. It doesn't matter what card game it is. If I can make money, I'm going to buy those booster boxes and sell them. So there was a lot of Pokemon, Digimon, Battle Spirits, Flesh and Blood, Shadowverse Evolved, Lorcana. It doesn't matter. If I found them on sale, I'm going to buy them. For example, hold on just a second. I bought a ton of these. Lorcana, these are just basically like the starter box. This one's actually still sealed. But Target was selling them for a ridiculously low amount. And there was about maybe 4 or 5 cards in these that sold instantly for more than the box. So you wait for deals like this and you swoop and you buy as many as you can. I don't feel bad about doing this because no one was buying these. I don't feel like that's scalping when there was probably like 50 of them on the shelves. Target couldn't get rid of them. And when you find these cheap booster boxes or, gift sets, things like that, you buy as many as you can. And you might think, well, I don't have the money. Again, the credit cards, that's where that comes in. So you really need to utilize this credit when you go and buy stuff. So when you open the credit card, they give you 6 months, no interest, which is nice. So you're not gonna be losing money on interest, and you just buy as much as you can, and you have to be quick about listing them. But every month while you're in that intro period, just pay the minimum balance. And it's a snowball. And by the time 6 months comes, when they start charging you interest, that's when you have enough money. Your business is booming and you just keep going. You just keep that almost maxed out. Every time you find a new deal, you max that card out. You sell, again, you don't take profits. Everything you sell ends up going to pay off that credit card, and what's left over is your profit. It works out really well. That way you're not finding an amazing deal. Maybe, for example, there was a online store that was selling, Shadowverse. It seems like they, wasn't doing well, so they just wanted to get rid of all their product. So they had them all on clearance. Plus, there was an event going on where they had, I think it was like 25% off of your total order, and clearance was included. So I pounced on that. I'm like, oh, I don't even need any more cards because I'm still sorting, but it's such a great deal. You have to buy. And I bought as much. Credit card got maxed out, and I made that back within a month. All the good cards got sold really, really fast. What I found that helped me also in general was I'm a little bit of a shopping addict. I like just buying things. I'll end up, at Target or the mall or Best Buy. I don't even need to be there. I don't want anything. I just want to buy something. So this really helped because I was always shopping for booster boxes and anything I could sell. There'd be hours I'd spend either at work, on my computer, or at home, just shopping. And it filled that need. I didn't feel the need to blow my money on just random stupid stuff because I'm blowing it on cards, which I'm going to make money. So it's perfect for the shopping addict. The other main thing is I sell every single card. I don't care if it's an energy or just a promo that doesn't sell, commons, uncommons, it doesn't matter. I sell them all. My baseline price is 49 cents because I was losing out on shipping costs when people bought like 100 penny cards. It just didn't work for me. So 49 cents, I sell everything. And I'm still selling cards from the first thing I opened. That Battle Academy, I'll randomly sell a couple cards for 49 cents. It just blows my mind. Cards I forgot about from like over a year ago are still selling. And that's why I don't think you should set your prices too low just to get rid of inventory. If you have the space, and look, I got plenty of wall space back there. I can put like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more shelves and they'll sit. Let them sit for a year. It doesn't even matter. So what did I end up buying and investing in? Well, I ended up buying a property in Indiana for $125,000. I just got financed for it, so I only put the 20% down plus closing costs. But it's not bad. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I can rent it out and got a property manager. So it can be done. I did it relatively quick, and that was with me being kind of lazy. There's months where I just didn't buy more product, and I mean, I'm still getting orders every day, but it went from about 30 orders a day to now it's like one or two a day, just because I haven't been listing. I've been focusing on getting that house. It's been just a hassle. But this video is not about real estate investing. This video is about selling trading cards and just what goes along with it. So moving on, the struggles. So staying focused and interested in cards was really hard because a lot of times I just want to come here, pack up, and ship out the cards. These talking videos, they're not bad. I like talking. I like sharing my experience, but I don't open new stuff very often unless I find a really good deal. So a lot of my stuff's old. I opened about 50 boxes of a Digimon set that came out like 3 years ago. I mean, like, nobody wants to see me open a new box of that, and it's not fun. You don't get excited anymore because you're like, okay, I bought this box for $30. I need to make 30. Oh, that card's worth 40. Okay, that's that. This box, I hit nothing. I lost like 10, but I'll make it up in the next box. It's hard to stay focused and interested. There's a lot of TCG player and regular TCG like YouTube channels out there, and they get into kind of the drama of investing, and there's beef between people, talk about scalpers or people stealing the news. It doesn't interest me. And that makes it hard to keep making videos if I'm not interested in the last person that cheated in a Pokemon tournament. Or, Magic did some questionable stuff and they released something nobody likes. I don't care. And maybe it's the business that made me not care, but just watch out for that. That's a struggle. Then comes the research. There's a lot of times where you're researching what to buy because card prices change all the time, and it's a little bit of a hassle. You get really tired of searching the same thing over. Your TCGPlayer, you're checking out a set and comparing it. Okay, this booster box selling for $50. The meta says this card's important. It's an uncommon selling for $5 each. The odds of me getting enough of those to pay for the box, I need 10 of those, but then I get the other cards. But what if I don't get 10 and the rare only cost, or the most rare card only costs like $7? So you gotta like calculate and do all these maths of odds and if you can make your money back. And it takes a lot of time. For example, Battle Spirit Saga was one of my go-tos. I was getting booster boxes from $5 to $10, and the cards were just like, a lot of them were useless. But the cards that people bought, a lot of the rares and a lot of the foils people were buying, and I would make probably 10 times the amount on each box. Sadly, the game died, and I'm left with a bunch of cards. But I made all my money back. I don't regret it. I don't know what I do with those cards, but I have them. The other struggle I encountered, and this one's a big one, because if you watched my video about how much money I made last year, according to my taxes, I spent a lot of money on gear I didn't need. So, for example, I bought a fancy camera, and I bought fancy microphones. I don't even use those anymore. Right now, I'm filming on an old iPhone that I got from work, and then this microphone here is, I think, $30, and all my expensive gear is just sitting in the closet. This is just a lot easier. Bought a computer I didn't need. I already had one. I bought a printer, another one, because this one was too slow for me. And then I bought a 3D printer because I was going to print stuff to help me in the business. And then I bought, what did I buy? It's really hard. Like, oh, the shelves and everything behind me, the little logo I have. Like, I had to buy all these things. Didn't even need them, but I bought them. And my profit was just getting eaten away by all the stuff I bought and didn't even use. So keep that in mind. The YouTube game that, if you want to start doing, just know that you don't need the best gear for this type of content. We're not making, cinematic trailers. We're just talking about cards. And to talk about cards, you need a half decent camera. Again, this iPhone's super old. I think it looks pretty good. This microphone is it's a USB mic, so it plugs right in the computer. You don't need any fancy audio interface. Super cheap. Two things you need. You want another angle? Buy another old iPhone off someone for like 40 bucks. Then let's talk about some advice. Some advice I have for you if you want to start. I would suggest always using someone else's money to start a business. You don't need to risk your own. And when it comes to smart buys and smart plays, you're really not risking it by racking up that credit card. I felt in no way any pressure where I couldn't pay that off. If anything, I got the money back a little too quick. And I was forced with, well, I sold all these cards, I got my money back, paid the credit card off. I just bought stuff. Now I have to buy more stuff. And then also another universal thing about stuff like this is just start. It doesn't have to be big. You don't need to buy 100 booster boxes. Just buy a couple and then just start listing. See if you even like it, because trust me, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. And especially if you have a 9-to-5 job. If you don't have a 9-to-5 job, then yeah, throw yourself in this 100%. You will make as much money as you have time and effort that you put into it. And the last bit of advice I want to give you is don't fall in love with the cards. If anything, sell cards from a game that you don't play. That way you're not like, let me just keep this one for my deck, but I'm going to make another deck. And oh, I got like 30 commander decks and I'm going to take this card to the tournament. I'm going to follow the meta, and all the high cost cards that everyone's buying, you just end up taking. You just can't do it. So just find a game you at least are maybe a little interested in, but it's not your main game. I highly suggest Digimon's always good. Booster boxes are cheap. Shadowverse Evolved has been now my #1 seller, and booster boxes are really cheap. Pokemon, it depends if you could find something on sale. Now it's a little rough. When I first started, there was tons of boxes on sale. Now it's just hard. But will I continue? I know for a fact I'm going to continue this card business because I want to raise enough money to get a down payment on the second rental property that I want to buy. I may not make as many videos. If I make videos, then that means I am not sorting, shipping, listing, or doing anything with the card business. And that is where the bulk of the money actually comes from. The things like YouTube ads, Amazon affiliate links, those are nice, but it's only a small chunk of change that I get that adds to the card business. So if you have any questions about the business or how I'm doing or about setting up a YouTube channel, just basically anything you want to talk about, just drop a comment and I will get back to you. But the business is not for everyone. But if you think it's for you, definitely give it a shot.